So I better be getting some of that TNT money. You can add it to that, that AEW money that you're still not giving me. I see the gold chain.
Oh, Tim, there's no TNT money. There's no AEW money. There's no WWE money. There's no NXT money. There's no New Japan Pro Wrestling money. There's no Access money. Fuck the owl. Okay? There's no money.
So wait, we're getting money from New Japan? Ooh, cool. But wait. If we're not on any of that, so there's no limitations?
There's no limitations, dude. We can smizzin' some whizzin'.
Well, if there's no limitations, I'm waving it around.
Tim, don't go waving the belt around. Oh, that's not the belt. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's time for ATBT Debate Club. I'm not saying it the other way. I'm not doing it.
Also known as the Blake Cub because Adam can't speak.
Look, that happened once. Once, Tim. Once.
And since when have I ever not let one mistake let you down?
Fair enough. Burning bush.
Exactly.
All right.
Different podcasts.
I know.
Been over 2 years. Well over 2 years.
Yep. You know,
bringing it back.
I got to bring it back around.
Gotta bring it back somehow. Gotta bring it back somehow.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Adam.
I'm Tim, and as we said, this is ATBT Debate Club, the podcast where we take a topic and we discuss it.
We don't really debate.
No, we just needed a name.
The comment section is where you can debate. Go nuts down there, guys.
Well, we need a name, and we decide Debate Club.
It works.
My bad, the Blick Club. Was it? So, why not? And the logo actually worked out, really.
Yeah, that's true.
But this week's topic, we are going to talk about AEW Dark, and does it work? Now.
Yes, it does.
What now?
They're done. We're great show, ladies and gentlemen.
One of our fastest shows ever. Give us a thumbs up. No. I mean, that's always on the screen. No, we know the show works, but what I want to talk about is the win-loss record.
Okay.
So the example I was giving to Adam before when we were talking about this is like Brandon Cutler. He went on a 20-some-odd losing streak for the first year. On Dark.
Could not win a match.
Literally in the match to get someone a first win, and no one getting a win.
It ended in a double DQ.
So, but the question is like, Brandon Cutler, he's on a winning streak on Dark.
Yes.
So, but does it mean anything?
Yes, it does.
No, hold on, let me finish this.
I mean,
because the people he's going against are nobodies, people we don't know, potential signees for AEW eventually. Some people who, because of Dark, have gotten jobs in AEW.
Yeah.
Which was great. For that element, it definitely works. But what does it mean for the win-loss record? Like, he's on a little good winning streak. And if you're on a winning streak, that means you should... Adam, are you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm just dying.
Just dying? Okay, I won't call 911 or anything.
Thank you. Just roll me outside.
Roll ya? I'm just going to leave you where you are. Your roommates can deal with the smell.
Oh, come on, dude.
And it's nice and toasty in here, so it's going to stink.
Yes.
But anyway, he's on a win streak, but it's against people that don't matter. So does that win streak actually mean something?
Yes. But.
Yes. But I believe it's supposed to be no, but. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about a running element. I'm sorry. Continue.
Right. So it does mean something.
Okay.
Now, what it means is that basically if you're you get a good enough record on Dark, you move to Dynamite.
But that's not how it works, though.
No, but it would be a great suggestion.
If that's how it worked, then that would be a great thing to do. But it's not. It's just about dealing with the wins-loss record.
Also, there is an element of quality wins.
Well, obviously, But again, when you look at how AEW keeps track of the win-loss record,
That's
so
true.
ultimately it comes down to the win-loss record. What we're talking about is, do the wins on Dark equal a win on Dynamite against someone else?
I don't know yet.
It does technically, but it is a win is a win.
That's true.
But at the same time, when you put someone like a Brandon Cutler on Dynamite and you going against someone who's more regularly on Dynamite, let's say a Ricky Starks,
Okay.
because still kind of a lower card, but still a name, who does have wins from Dark, who's going to win? It's going to be Ricky Starks.
Honestly, though, it depends on what story you're telling.
No?
Because it still works that way, because the win-loss record in AEW is a story element.
It's a story element, but it's a story element that's not like you do in other companies.
That's true.
Because you usually have one person who has a big, long continuous win streak. Because
we're saying other companies. It's the WWE.
I'm talking about like even Impact.
Okay.
You have generally that one person who you'll do that storyline. Yes, you'll have a lot of people who are on the win streak. You'll see it when they do on the caption, won the last 5 or their 7 matches.
Yes.
Because they may have just had a loss somewhere out of this. But it's a way even sports do that.
That's true.
The difference between a sports one is you're going against other teams that are professional level sports. Yes, there are some teams like in baseball or even football that are better than the others, but somehow regardless of who you beat, it's still a win, and it's not looked at, well, you beat that team.
No, that happens all the time in sports.
Certainly.
Is that you're like, you beat a weak team, dude. And they're like, yeah, but a win's a win.
But depending on who you are and where you are.
But I mean,
it's not across the board, though.
One of the things, though, that happens, really, the only sport that you can compare that to is a fighting sport.
Well, you should be.
And there, the wins and losses, it's for championship opportunities. Yes, you do first look at, okay, who's got a good win-loss record. Mm-hmm. This is our selection. All right, now we have to look through their wins and losses and look at quality of that and then rank them from there.
But actually, no, UFC actually doesn't do that. They base it off the win-loss record in their rankings. Because, and I do think they may take quality into there, but they also take in the fact that your last loss. Like, if they're in the top 10 or top 5 rankings, they may not give it to the number 1 guy because he may just had a fight and he can't fight for another because it was a brutal fight. He's
got to wait 6 months.
6 months because of a medical suspension,
or recovery.
Well, that's what a medical suspension is basically.
Oh, okay.
If in UFC or fighting there's always a suspension. It's based on how after you go to the doctor, they look at it. The commission gets it and say, okay, you have a 2-week suspension, and it's only just because of medical for recovery. Yeah. That's what it comes down to.
Oh, okay.
But it's a little confusing when they say suspension. Like when you look into it, it's like, no, it's a medical suspension.
They're just like, recover. You're on the bench, kiddo.
Yeah. So they have to take all those things in because it's unlike professional wrestling where you have a match on Dynamite. Next week, that same person can have a match on Dynamite, even though they took a brutal beating.
That's the world of wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little more tricky. Personally, I don't think right now the way the wins you get against just jobbers or independent talent who are coming in, getting them a little exposure. Yes, they're taking the win. You know who's good. You go on a dark card and you can pick every single winner because you know it's there to get the AEW talent.
Occasionally
wins.
You get that one match that you look at and you're like, either one of these guys should be on Dynamite, but this week this match is over here on Dark, or we're trying to build them up to a Dynamite level.
So to me, it's like, I don't care if they're getting a lot of wins because I know the wins are from nobodies. Yes, there are wins, but how much is it actually helping them perceive in the fans' eyes. Now, this actually really comes down to a question of the casual fan.
True.
Because the casual fans are going to be like, oh, they're the ones who are going to be saying, oh, he's won his last 7 ones. Is this someone I should be paying attention to?
Exactly.
So we are actually the worst people to answer this question. From a mega fan...
Yeah. We're looking at 17 different layers here.
We're looking at, because we're familiar with pro wrestling, we're familiar with different things. Still having a consistent win-loss record thing in wrestling is amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony Khan, for keeping this up and actually just doing it right.
Yeah.
But it really does come down to how casual fans are going to look at these wins and losses. If they make that connection that Dark is just, oh, these are nobodies, that may turn them off from be like, well, that doesn't mean that he's getting all these wins over here and these are nobodies.
Well, I mean, you have guys like Lance Archer, who that's kind of their gimmick, is that they are purposely racking up wins.
Yep.
Because they're getting talent fed to them.
Well, yes, but there's a difference. Again, is the
Well, then he builds up to having a match against quality opponents.
Yeah. But even then, when he was facing Rey Fenix for a spot in the ladder match, again, a quality opponent right there. That's a good win. Whoever won that one, it's a quality win. And that's the thing I think they need to highlight if they don't make the change. Like the whole thing, you get enough wins on Dark, you get promoted to Dynamite. Dynamite doesn't mean you're going to get a lot of wins on Dynamite. It just means you're going to be more of a focus on Dynamite.
Yes.
And you can also make it a change to someone who's a star in AEW. Let's say like Ricky Starks.
Okay.
He had some good storylines and stuff, but now he's gotten some losses. We're gonna put him back down on Dark. He's not gonna be on TV for a few weeks, a month or two. Let him build some wins up there before we bring him back into some storylines. But we have this new person we're gonna promote because we want to get them over. They'll get some decent wins over some younger talent like himself, but a quality person like Brian Cage,
yes,
they're gonna lose too.
Yes,
on Dynamite, but it's a way to get them established on normal TV, or better yet, when they launch the third hour, they'll go over to that the hour on programming first. Yeah. The wins over there will then let them get to the main program on Dynamite. That's how a great way to do. Elevation should be your starting point. This should be your really up and coming talent that maybe a mainstay on Dark, and not on TV. Okay. But they're going to be bouncing here. But you're also getting some new talent are going to be priority here.
Yeah, I mean,
and you just build them. It basically becomes an elevator from Dynamite, Dark,
from elevation
to Dark to the third program,
third hour,
the 1 hour, third hour programming on TNT when it launches. Then that goes over to Dark. Over to
Dynamite.
Personally, like the TNT Championship should be a prime statement on the third hour. Yes, Kenny, the tag team championships, all those belts should show up on the third hours as well.
Oh yeah.
But the main focus should be TNT. That's where Darby should be living.
Yes.
And defending a lot of his belts, the belt a lot of the time. Also on Dynamite and everything, but that's a good, basically an escalator for talent. But as it is right now, I just don't think it works overall. But also becoming from a mega fan,
right?
That's the issue. Again, I wish we could find a third person who likes AEW and get them on here, who's a casual viewer.
A casual.
Actually, you know what I might have to do? I'll have to ask my new boss because he's just not having to come over to be on the podcast. I'm talking about just to be. If I could get him on the podcast.
I don't know if we can smizzin some whizzin in front of your boss.
I'm talking about ask him about this question.
Okay. Shoo.
He might be down for submissions and whizzin.
I don't know if I can catch a kizzin in here.
Well, you got used to me being around, so I think
okay, maybe I can get used to somebody else being in the office at the same time.
But no, I think he actually may be the perfect person to ask about.
Yeah.
Because he just started watching Dynamite. Used to be a big pro wrestling fan. Watched WWE when Kofi Kingston was breaking in. By the way,
wow, that was like a decade ago, bro.
Yeah. Also, Kofi Kingston is his best friend. Grew up together.
Really?
Yeah, I told you this already, but I mean, that's the first time I'm telling it on the podcast.
Oh,
Like best friends growing up in high school.
okay.
Yeah.
I like your boss.
Yeah. I was
I
like,
really like your boss right now.
he's just like, yeah, my friend was a pro wrestler, like best friend was a pro wrestler. I'm like, oh, really? Who is? Not thinking it's gonna be like a big name. Kofi, maybe you heard of Kofi Kingston. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, so that to be that person.
For me, like meeting somebody that is like close to somebody famous like that, I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not shitting me right now, right?
So, but which is
like I worked with a guy who was John Cena's childhood best friend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was also 6'8". John tried to convince him to join pro wrestling.
That's not a surprise.
He had like a Kane level body.
Yeah,
he wasn't jacked in any way, but it was just like, dude, you big.
You're big, and you're a decent enough shape.
Yeah. I mean, if you really worked at it, you would. But he was a total nerd.
You would be basically, if he worked at it, he'd have a Wardlow body.
Yes. Well, I mean, that would be seriously working at it. He was more of a current Kane.
No, I'm saying if he really worked out.
Yeah. No, I mean, if he went 110%, he probably would have had a Wardlow body.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the
right
way
now,
that he normally looked was
like a current Kane body.
Kane,
which is still actually pretty good.
Not dad bod Triple H though.
No, not dad bod Triple H.
But yeah, just him just being like, yeah, John and I, we were good friends. He's like, I lived down the street and blah blah. And I was just like,
John Cena.
Really?
John
you can't
Cena?
see me. He's like, no, he's a bro. Yeah. He's always been a bro. But yeah. And I was just like, you're a nerd. He's like, we were childhood friends. Teen years, we started to split apart. And I was like, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
You were the D&D guy. He was like football. Working out. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no, I could see why that you guys wouldn't really hang out after that.
So, but yeah, no, it's so funny just to hear that. But here's maybe tomorrow night when I'm working, I'll have to ask him that question. Because here's one thing he asked me about Dark the other day. He actually would be a good one because he's a new person to AEW.
I do suggest right away to any new fan, anybody getting into Dynamite, if you are a person who does enjoy watching YouTube videos, because there's like, you have to actually watch a YouTube video. You can't just be like, the TV was on.
Yeah.
Definitely check out Dark. Like, that show is evolved.
Yeah.
I would like the third hour to be what Dark used to be, which was the Dark matches from that week.
That's what Dark is still.
Well, yes, but like it's kind of become its own show.
It's its own show. The only difference is they just are offering a lot more matches.
Yeah,
and also the reason why they weren't having so many matches on Dark when they did that was because of, well, they didn't have that much talent at the time. Like that. Now they're bloated. They're like NXT for talent, bloated. But at the same time,
they are kind of bloated. No, but I really feel that AEW Dark has slowly morphed into being the second show, and it's nearly a 2-hour show anyway.
Yeah, now the matches are still definitely short, but it's so many matches.
Yeah,
it's all matches.
And I mean, like, because so I would like for, whatever this 1-hour show on TNT is going to be.
Yep.
I like how we completely changed our topic halfway through.
Not really.
No, because there's still wins and losses.
Yeah.
Have that be the Dark matches from Dynamite that week.
No.
And some other and some talk.
Well, if it's gonna be on TV, it can't be Dark matches anymore because if you're actually doing TV, it becomes TV.
Well, yes, but like
the Dark matches,
they're matches filmed for that show.
No. Yeah. Because it just makes more sense to have it like that Dark matches on TV. On YouTube.
All right, fine.
But no, it's just like that whole idea of
AEW Underground.
That's gonna be the third YouTube show.
Yes. You go from Underground to Elevation to Dark to the third hour
to the main
to Dynamite
to the pay-per-view.
Just like
you don't wait. How did I only get on pay-per-views? Why are people watching me only on pay-per-view? This actually seems like a step down. There's a reason for it. Trust me.
Brendan Cutler only has pay-per-view matches for a full year.
With no build to the matchup, but he's just
Other than that, he's on AEW Underground.
yes.
And he's just like, I don't understand this, guys. And he's dominating that area. Like, never loses a match.
See, what I actually think that eventually is going to happen.
Yeah.
I think Dark or Elevation or one of them is going to morph into a developmental.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Over the next few years. Is going to eventually develop into their own developmental. There will be like a Dark Championship.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
And it will literally be meant for there. And you'll really be getting like an elevation to the third program. And
Yes.
the main that kind of main roster type thing. That's what I see it evolving to eventually. But again, like we've already said, we're gonna wrap this up because we're going in circles now.
Yes.
But the whole thing is, it really comes down to what does an average viewer fan look at Dark and Dynamite, and do they
wins
see,
and losses?
is those wins and losses still equal to them regardless? Because if it is, then they win. If we're just being two pro wrestling marks, we're just not overthinking this. We just know too much about pro wrestling.
We're overthinking this.
Maybe a smidge. Maybe just a smidge. A smidge.
Dude, that smidge is like a mile long.
It could be 5 miles long, so I need a smidge.
Okay.
Just a smidge. So I'll have to actually think about it. If I remember tomorrow, I'll have to ask my boss to see what he thinks on this and bring it up in part 2 of this debate club, which would be only like 30 seconds.
It'll just be an update during another show.
Yeah, it'll probably bring it up, probably the news. Or,
Yeah.
It's not like anything's breaking is going to happen this weekend or anything. Not like a big date signing at a pay-per-view or anything, no.
This just in. Owen Hart signs with AEW. It's been a while since I made one of those jokes.
God, this is why we don't have no fans.
Exactly.
And how are we going to make this into a thing where we can do it for a living if you keep making those terrible jokes?
I don't know.
It's like, I don't know.
Somebody's going to get my humor at some point and be like, he's a genius.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this week's Debate Club. Let us know down in the comment section, what do you think of the wins and loss system for like Dark? Do you think they have value, or is there a different value to each other versus like main roster or main Dynamite wins, like stars like Darby, Brian Cage, Cody, that stuff? Let us know down in the comment section. That is the question of Debate Club for you to answer. Since you made it into this Debate Club, you're liking what you're listening to, or you just forgot you put this on, I'm going to go with the first one.
Yes.
Be positive. Give us a thumbs up. It helps support Zop Gaming.
And makes you awesome.
Sure. Yeah, you were awesome, not Adam. Adam's not awesome. He's hideous. Anyway, and since you gave me a thumbs up and you're liking what you're listening to, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Ding!
Ring that bell.
Ding ding!
And make sure it's the one that turns on all notifications so you know it's all as the buckle turns. And I guess Zop Gaming content goes live.
Yeah.
We gotta find a way for this thing to just kind of repeat again. We need a No, that's not
that's horrible.
That's horrible.
I'm sorry to everyone who has hearing problems now.
Yeah, exactly.
We are not responsible for causing any hear damage, though.
No, we are not. But Adam is.
No.
Your face? No, get bent.